Hey everybody, it's Matt. So today I want to talk about breaking the timeline chain. And by that I mean, how often do you hear from people that try to tell you, oh, you have to be married by the time you're 30 with kids, or you have to be out of debt by this time, or you need to be in a relationship by the time you're whatever. You have to have this much in your account by the age of 40, and just all these timelines that people kind of put onto us because I actually believe it's sort of a generational curse that like the baby boomer generation specifically has gotten. So I'm here to kind of just talk about that and talk about breaking those timelines, right? Because in my opinion, God puts things into our lives at the time that we need them, and no sooner or no later. So if we can really truly surrender to that timeline of God's timeline, as opposed to truly what I believe is just like trying to control your life, right? I can attest to the fact that I've tried to control so many aspects of my life, from relationships to finances to business to relationships to friendships to everything. So, and it's never worked out in my favor when I try to control it. But when I do truly let go of the need to, honestly, what I kind of think it stems from is like a desperation or a fear or an insecurity. And it's a lot of the times, it's almost always, now bear with me, because I think this kind of goes line in line with the timeline thing, is that you become kind of insecure and immature about where you're at in your life. So as opposed to surrendering that, you and letting go and trying to, and just letting it work itself out. Because truly, if we're being honest, a lot of these things happen when you're ready for them. And again, no sooner and no later. So as opposed to it being a discussion of desperation of, oh, well, let me go online date because, I'm not knocking online dating, I'm just saying, again, it's a control thing. You go online because you're lonely. And as opposed to dealing with your loneliness, you go to, well, how do I get out of being lonely? I get out of being lonely by dating somebody, or, talking to all the wrong people because I just want to cover the loneliness in my life. Same thing with finances. You might want to be out of debt, but what are you doing? Are you actively not spending as much money and actively trying to get out of debt like I'm trying to do right now? I'm just to be honest about it. And I think it's all about priorities too, right? So when your priority is, I want to get out of debt, as opposed to focusing on the debt, focus on what you're doing with your money. Stop spending so much and start chucking away at the debt. Focus on the right thing, right? Make more money, get out there and produce more, do more services, do more sales, whatever it may be. And same thing with relationships. Like if you know that you're in a desperate place, or that you are lonely, deal with the problem, which is your loneliness and your insecurity of being alone. Why are you insecure? Why are you there? And it's almost typically because you have this fear of being alone for the rest of your life. That was my fear. I was like, oh, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. So if I control it, maybe I won't be. And it's actually the opposite. I need to let go of that, and I need to just focus on being happy with being who I am. I'm just Matt, and I'm cool with that, right? And that will in turn make your life better because you're actually doing something to help you, as opposed to doing something because you just don't want to deal with your current situation, if that makes sense. So I'm here to just tell you, keep doing you, keep surrendering those things to God, and you will eventually get to the point where God does bring things in. He does break those chains of debt, of financial insecurity, of having someone in your life that will help your life and enhance your life, as opposed to just settling for somebody, or as opposed to, being with someone because you just are lonely, and it gets kind of you get into this state of desperation because you feel like, oh, well, everyone keeps telling me that I need to be in a relationship, so maybe I need to be in a relationship. No, you don't. You need to be where you are right now, which is single and loving it, and just embracing it. Honestly, like I think a lot of people are so terrified to embrace where they're at and thanking where you're at, right? I thank that I'm in debt because I wouldn't have a business. I wouldn't have the things that I have if I didn't go into a little bit of debt. Same thing with a relationship. If I didn't deal with that, I wouldn't be out of it, and I wouldn't be climbing my way out of it and getting to the top. So you are where you are for a reason. Never forget that. And I'm here to tell you that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. You just need to go through the tunnel. And sometimes the tunnel is dark. All right, guys, have a great day. God bless. And stay in a positive mindset because you get a lot more done when you're positive. All right, see you later.